I think there have been, and we've got about 6 or 7 what we call strategic partners here, including the government. And they've been active participants in everything we've done around the Commonwealth and continue to be very supportive, as you heard in the Deputy Chief Minister's speech this evening. I think, if I might say, Christine, I think an even more interesting question is what opportunities can our Council offer Gibraltar now in Gibraltar's new world?
You said today Gibraltar is an example of the Brexit dividend. Post-Brexit, the Commonwealth seemed as the ideal alternative to the EU. Do you think that this is still the case, even with the EU treaty, EU-UK?
No, I'm always quick to say about the Commonwealth and certainly trade within the Commonwealth. I don't see it as a replacement to any existing treaty or any existing trade relationship. I think it's an add-on, but I think it's a very, very important add-on. You're talking about $1 trillion worth of intra-Commonwealth trade between the 56 countries of the Commonwealth, some of the fastest growing economies in the world. I mean, we've just done a huge investment conference in Lagos. I mean, Nigeria is growing at a rate you cannot believe. And then, of course, the smaller countries, we're all going off to Antigua for the heads of government meeting at the end of the year. We've got economies right across the Commonwealth offering different things, not sector-specific, huge opportunities for companies here in Gibraltar to reach out and do incredibly well by extending their relationships right across the 55 countries.
It's easy to see how Gibraltar can benefit, but can Gibraltar contribute? Is there a role perhaps in bridging with the UK and the Commonwealth?
Yes, no, I think there's a role, incidentally, potentially, for a country like Spain, for instance, who wants to do stuff either with the UK or in the Commonwealth, to use Gibraltar as the interlocutor, if you like, for that purpose. So I think there's plenty more. Look, I first came here I came here in 1968, or tried to, it was closed in those days. The last time you interviewed me, although none of us have aged, you certainly haven't, was 20 years ago we've just worked out. And, you know, if you compare Gibraltar then to Gibraltar as a result of this treaty now, post-Brexit, it's a different ballgame. It's a radically different place, and the opportunities here are now huge. And I think Gibraltar will pivot to take advantage of this. As I said in my speech just now, looking both ways, looking towards the EU, but critically looking outside the EU to the wider world, and part of that is, of course, the Commonwealth. And we all know about Gibraltar's geographic position, which has been pivotal for so many things over the millennia. But now its position as an economic entity could be incredibly important to global trade.
So we've heard of your links with Gibraltar, your visits to Gibraltar. You have, of course, advocated for Gibraltar. You've lobbied for Gibraltar, especially when it came to incursions. You said you found Gibraltar today the best you've ever found it.
Yeah.
What about the hub itself? What plans are there, perhaps for expansion or for its future?
Well, we're very open. Look, I mean, we've only got about 7 or 8 strategic partners here, including the government, as I said. And if there are companies listening to this program or who've heard what I've said over the last few days or read various things, and they feel that they'd like to come and speak to our guy here, Jared, who's excellent, he will put them in touch and show them what we can do for them. But critically, they've got to be companies who actually do want to up their game and do want to reach out into these different markets. We're very, very good at that. What's not so good is if companies join us and then don't do anything and everyone's disappointed. So I say to any company here in Gibraltar watching this program, if you really want to explore the opportunities around one of the fastest, most important economies in the world, the 56 countries that comprise the Commonwealth family, get in touch and we'll help you reach your goals. That's what we just do. It's quite simple.